everyone, welcome to Rev Sports post-match show, and Team India has won the final T20I and it's 3-0 the scoreboard in the favor of India. People don't misinterpret what I am saying. 3-0 in the favor of India, and Team India has won this series. Team India won this series yesterday only, but yeah, the clean sweep, the whitewash which everybody was waiting for, everybody was hoping for that, at least India can, and India did. Clean swept and whitewashed, we can say, Zimbabwe. And there were a lot of conversations before the series that we don't know what is going to happen, what will happen, what won't happen. So now the result is in front of us. And before we talk about any individual, I think there is one issue which should be talked about a bit more, and that is Team India's sloppy fielding. I counted 4 or 5 catch drops. I counted 4 or 5. If there are more, I have lost my count then. Bharat, coming to you first. This was Zimbabwe team. So, okay, like we can say Zimbabwe thi to theek hai. Aap jeet gaye. Lekin if it was some teams like Australia or England or even New Zealand, even South Africa, it would be a big trouble for Team India. And it's not just now. It's been very long. Team India suffering with this bad fielding syndrome.
Yeah, see, I will put it in this way. A team like England drops catch after catch in Test cricket. India goes one step ahead by dropping catch after catch across formats, not just in Test cricket but across formats. So that has been the case over the last 1 year or so, that India take a step ahead of even England by dropping catches across formats, not just one format. So that is where it is. Somewhere it comes down to lapse in concentration, I guess, because some of these drop catches were not really difficult chances. They should have taken it. That Ishan Kishan's drop, then another catch that was dropped off Yash Thakur's bowling. These were straightforward chances, so they should have taken it. I guess it is maybe a concentration lapse. Maybe they took it lightly because it was Zimbabwe. But having said that, they have been dropping catches not just against Zimbabwe but against other teams too. Against stronger teams, be it Australia, be it England, be it whoever it is, they have been dropping catches against them too. So it will cost them at some point of time. Fortunately, India were too good in the T20 World Cup. Yes, their fielding also was perhaps reasonably good in that tournament. But on an overall basis, even if you look at the Test series last year against England, where both teams seem to be competing in relation to who will drop more catches, or for the matter, few other one-day series here or there, India have been dropping a lot of catches. Yes, what can I say? Off record, I have had a couple of conversations with our former fielding coach, who has now basically resigned or stepped down. That is when India were doing practice sessions. Yeah, you used to talk about how that they're trying to improve their fielding and all that stuff, but unfortunately, it has not worked. So maybe it's for the next fielding coach to really work on them, and also it also comes down to the fielders. See, you can work as much as you can as a coach, but finally it comes down to those individuals, because some of the sitters that were dropped today, there's no excuse. It's not like those were difficult chances. Those were sitters, and if you drop those chances, then I can only say one thing, that there is a lapse in concentration. That is why you are not able to concentrate on the next ball. Most likely, as far as this match is concerned, I'm not saying at a macro level or a macro picture, but as far as this game is concerned, maybe at that juncture they were taking Zimbabwe lightly. But I felt sad for Ashok Sharma because he bowled really good over. That was really good over from him, and Ishan Kishan dropped an absolute sitter. And all that Ashok Sharma could do was look up heavenwards. Even when he took that wicket, he looked heavenwards. Perhaps that is what the Indian bowlers will keep doing in the future as well, looking at the number of drops.
Yes, very rightly put. Shamik has also joined us. So before I go to Sudisha, I'll talk to Shamik. First, Shamik, we were talking about the Team India's sloppy fielding. They were not good with the fielding today, and it's not just about today. We have been seeing it for a very long period of time in Test as well, the Border Gavaskar Trophy and the Sachin Tendulkar Trophy, and today as well. The fielding was not up to the mark, and okay, it was Zimbabwe. You won that match, but in front of big teams like Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, any team like these, you it could have costed you the match. So, what are your opinions on Team India's fielding, because it is not looking good?
Srishti, I wrote in my match report, India maintained their habit of dropping catches. And this has been a recurring theme. This has
And
been
you
a
agree to
recurring
that?
theme. Hopefully, I mean, the thing I have been putting the blame at T. Dilip's feet. Whatever, irrespective of his fielding drills, I mean, whatever he has been doing, I mean, he has been putting in a lot of hard work. I'm not doubting that, but that is not reflecting on performance. Um, if you go back to, you mentioned the Test series against England last year, India dropped 23 catches. 23 catches, and this was a reason.
Yeah.
That was the reason why did India couldn't win the series. Otherwise, India probably would have won the series. Then around 12 catches were dropped at the Asia Cup last year, and this has been a recurring theme. Today, in a total of 4 catches were dropped. 4 catches were dropped today. One of them was sitter by Ishan Kishan, and then the three. But at this level, you will not be getting dollies. You will have to take tough chances. So,
Yes.
uh, I mean, there is a change on the cards. There's a T. Dilip's contract is over. T. Dilip was on a 1 year extension, and it has expired now. It has expired now. Very likely, there will be a change as far as support staff. A couple of support staff will go out, and new support staff will come in, and very likely T. Dilip. There is still a bit of lobbying to keep T. Dilip, but I don't think that would cut that will cut much ice. So very likely Dilip is on his way out, and there could be a new fielding coach. But at the same time, it is not only about the fielding coach. At this level, players are expected to take catches. Players are expected to take catches. You have to take ownership. You are playing for India. You have to take ownership, and not only the catch. India suffered a one-over penalty in the end, and had one fielder less in the deep because they were one over behind. So once again, this was Zimbabwe. The game was done and dusted by then. But in tight matches, when you would be playing against top teams, these are the things you have to look into. You have to take care of. So all in all, sort of so-so performance, and it's a clean sweep, I know, but that cannot be an atonement for 6-0 in reverse in Ireland and England. India are expected to win the series, they won it. Uh, there would be that feel good factor would be there, but once again, this is not a perfect atonement.
Obviously, 100%. The way India was playing versus Ireland and England, nobody. England, I'll still keep them aside, but still, the way they lost to Ireland, that was also not done. I don't know what was the reason. There were many reasons, by the way. Acclimatization, the word was also used. Transition word was also used. Multiple things. Coming to Sudisha, now Sudisha, your opinions on Team India's fielding, because it's been a
Just
recurring problem now. Yes, yes.
Srishti, Srishti, before you go to Sudisha, just
Yeah.
because you have used the word transition, and that is it is not your word. It is the word used by one of the
Yeah.
staff members of the Indian team. I
Yeah.
haven't heard anything as nonsensical as that. I haven't heard anything as nonsensical as that because the T20 team does has no transition. You didn't pick Bumrah for the T20Is in Ireland and England because you have taken the decision that Bumrah going ahead would be playing in the 50-over format with an eye on the 2037 World Cup. Hardik Pandya was unfit. Hardik Pandya was unfit, and Hardik once again the focus would be on the 2027 World Cup. You have dropped your World Cup winning captain. That is not because of transition, because you felt that under the pretext of bad form, under the pretext of poor form, and you have brought in a new player, a new captain, because you felt he has done wonderfully well in the IPL, where every captain, every team has the advantage of an impact player. So now there is no transition in T20 cricket at all. And whatever that transition word in the context of T20 cricket is as nonsensical as it gets.
100%, 100%. And that was also my next topic, because if I think all of you remember, it was the again the support staff only, they who said that, like, we don't like the word transition, and when they lost, they used the word transition. So many things are there. We will not point them out anyway. So Sudisha, coming to you, we'll quickly wrap up the fielding conversation. And what are your opinions about Team India's fielding? Because it's a recurring problem now, as Shamik very rightly said.
So I'll straight up mention 2 to 3 points. For today, it was just the effect of, or just the feeling of victory that our players had. They knew they had chased a good amount of runs and that they will take wickets, that their bowlers are going to do well. That is what has happened today, because the way they have dropped the catches, it was very casual. As such, good fielders have also dropped very easy catches. Now, if there was a situation where the catches were difficult or the fielders were not very up to the mark, we would have given it a lead key. It's okay. It happens. But a situation where the fielders are also good and the catches are also very easy, it is something that is something to work upon. This is the first point that I wanted to mention. The second point is, what if we wouldn't have chased a good amount of runs? What if it was a very mediocre amount of runs that we have would have scored? Then it was a situation where we have wasted a lot of runs, or we have given away a lot of runs to the uh, Zimbabwe team. So this is something that we have to look into, because again in the Ireland series also this has happened. Ireland England series also. If we have watched that series closely, it is very easy to say that there also 40 to 50 runs people have given away very easily. So, with the batting lineup improving, with the bowling lineup doing well, I think this is the time to focus on fielding too, as Bharat sir and Shamik sir mentioned very rightly. So, yeah, the bottom line will be that fielding is something that is equally important, and I think this is the time when you start focusing on it, given the fact that we have important matches in the future too.
100%, 100%, very rightly put. So now there is another person who has scored a lot of runs, Vaibhav Sooryavanshi. In today's match, in last match it was Ishan Kishan, and today's match it was Vaibhav Sooryavanshi. And again, like, he missed a ton, he could have scored the 100, and he was looking very very much comfortable in the pitch as well. So Shamik, starting with you, what are your opinions on Vaibhav Sooryavanshis knock? Did you like his knock today?
Yeah, the most heartening takeaway so far, he proved to be a one-trick pony in international cricket, just one-dimensional approach. But today, he used maturity, and that was the biggest takeaway, because it was not. It was this game was played on a youth pitch to start with, and the ball. I mean, the batsman didn't have any pace to work with. Usually, even on that pitch, 100 a strike rate of 165, it is quick fire by any standards. But in Vaibhav Sooryavansh's case, when the on pitches that don't have steep bounce, against decent bowling attack, he goes at a strike rate of 200 plus for one. So the way, if you look at his first 50 runs, 31 deliveries, just 6 fours and 2 sixes, which means in the power play, what he did, he was picking the loose deliveries to score. Yes, Zimbabwe's bowling was inconsistent. A boundary ball was always around the corner, but that was not Vaibhav Sooryavansh's problem. You play what is in front of you, and Vaibhav Sooryavanshi did that. And the biggest takeaway and the most heartening aspect of his game, the way after he transitioned himself after the power play, he transitioned himself in a positive anchor role. He was not going after every delivery, playing the ball on merit. Of course, he came very close to becoming the youngest ever to score an international 100 at the senior level. But the record now still belongs to Sahid Afridi, 16 years and 221 days. I think Vaibhav Sooryavanshi is 15 years and 121 days or something like that. But
Yes, yes, yes.
more than the hundred, the way he paced his innings and the way the entire approach of his innings, that was very heartening.
Very rightly put, because Web of Suryanchi we have seen 18 balls, 50, 19 balls, 50, but today it was around 30, 31 balls, 50. So it was a bit unlike of Vaibhav Sooryavanshi which we have witnessed. Bharat, coming to you, do you think there is a bit improvement in Vaibhav Sooryavansh's game as Shamik spoke about it?
Yeah, see, the main factor to look at was how he was able to judge which line or what line against what line he has to attack and against what line he just needs to take a single or two. I think that's the most important point because Buzar Bani has been kind of troubling him with that hard line delivery that kind of leaves the left hand batter, hard line delivery or short delivery that leaves the left hand batter. So I think he judged it better. Yes, he still played an extraordinary shot against Muzarbani, and there was another extraordinary shot that he played against Bennett or Raza, I don't remember, but he just came down the wicket, chipped it, and went wide off, long off on a track that was gripping. That particular stroke itself tells something about this player being from another planet because you can't play like that, honestly, on a track that is gripping a bit. So yes, he has great shots, but he today showed a little better judgment in terms of what line to attack or against which line he needs to attack or against which line he just needs to maybe rotate the strike and pick a single or two. See, I've already noted that in T20 cricket is going to break maybe perhaps most likely break all the records. I would have likely extended it to ODI cricket as well, but unfortunately, not much ODI cricket is being played these days. So I would restrict it to T20 cricket. Won't go to Test cricket. I don't know what will happen in that format. But there's absolutely no doubt about his incredible skill. I haven't seen a player like Vaibhav Sooryavanshi in my lifetime for 34 years. I'm not saying that that means that he's the greatest player I've watched, but I've not seen a player like him in my lifetime who has that kind of bat swing and still is able to create his own time and space. Just it's about bit of tinkering in his batting methods, in how he goes about his business in limit overs cricket. But there's no doubt in my mind that Vaibhav Sooryavanshi is going to be a big star in limited overs cricket.
Very rightly put. Very rightly put. Sudisha, my question to you would be about Abhishek Sharma. I was looking at a record and I saw that Abhishek Sharma scored 11 runs in 3 matches, one of the lowest. And again, like nobody's judging him or writing him off. It's not that, but how do you look at Abhishek Sharma's knock? Because he was one of the consistent batters in the Ireland and England series, and after that in the Zimbabwe series, he was unable to score runs. And in front of him, Vaibhav Sooryavanshi scored a lot of runs, like more than him. I mean to say. So, what are your opinions on Abhishek Sharma? Do you think it's a problem? His form is a problem for the series?
Okay, so I'll start with the fact that when and England series was going on, we were talking about how the whole batting lineup is dependent on Abhishek Sharma, and he'll come, he'll score his runs, and he'll give a comfortable amount of numbers to the batters who are coming in, and then he'll go. But I think the situation has turned a bit for this series, clearly. And what I feel is like this is something that we have talked about also, that for Abhishek Sharma, it's either fours or sixes, or he gets up, or it is a dot ball. So this is something that he has to work upon. It's a clear answer. It's a very straightforward answer that when Abhishek Sharma plays, which is also very good. And I guess even the commentators also during the match they were talking about this, that if Abhishek Sharma walks down to the ground, he'll either score a hefty amount of runs, or he'll get out, or he'll get a wicket in a very limited amount of runs, a very small amount of
Yes, yes, sure,
runs.
shall continue. You
Yes,
continue.
yes.
I mean,
Okay.
you first finish, and then I will go
Okay.
about it. Yeah.
And
Okay, okay, no
so
issues.
not
Yes, Sudisha.
not comparing as such, but if you see this, people say that Vaibhav Sooryavanshi and Abhishek Sharma have a very similar form, right? That is aggressive and risky.
100%.
But the difference between Vaibhav and Abhishek is that Vaibhav takes that ones and twos that he gets, and Abhishek does not. It's not a bad thing, of course, because when he scores either hundreds or fifties. So for me, it's just that he needs to work on that factor, that ones or twos sometimes it is fine. And I think then he'll be good to go. He will be better in his form like he was in the initial stages of Ireland and the England series.
Okay,
Srishti,
yes, Sharma, please.
this is not a case of this series or just the last two innings. I will urge our viewers to read the match report. This is the 11th innings. This is the 11th innings in his last 18 T20Is that Abhishek Sharma got dismissed for 10 or fewer. This is his 11th innings in 18 T20. He has scored runs intermittently. Starting from the T20 World Cup earlier this year, in 11 in 18 innings in T20Is, his average has dropped to 18. Not many months ago, when he was the world's best T20I batsman, he was scoring at an average of 37 plus. So from 37 plus for this period over the last 18 T20Is, his average has dropped to 18. So it is a course of concern. Of course, he has scored runs intermittently, like the World Cup final against New Zealand, where he scored a half century. That's fine. But if you look at consistency, he has been off late. He has been keeping consistency at arm's length. And what is a little irritating that given that he has such a clean striker of the ball, he has shots and everything, the way he is getting out, the way he is getting out,
Yeah.
is he mentally jaded? That is my question. Last game, he got out very soft dismissal. He could have played an uppercut for a six. He tried to steer, and this is today a pretty ungainly flat batted attempt, and at the two end of the bat, outside edge, Muzarwani's delivery went to the keeper. So it was once again poor shot selection. Maybe a little bit of break from cricket will recharge his batteries, will help him be refreshed, and when he will come back for the Asian Games, which is in September, so he now has a couple of months layoff. He now has a couple of months layoff. I think this will do a world of good because a very good player cannot become bad overnight. This is a phase, I guess. This is a and more than anything, more than any technical aspect or anything, I think it is mental. It is maybe because of non-stop cricket and playing for India. And he played starting from last year Asia Cup and then this home series, followed by the World Cup, then the IPL, once again this
Back to back.
series, back to back. I mean, almost everyone has been playing non-stop cricket, and we have to keep in mind that Abhishek Sharma is still a very young man. You have to keep in mind that he's just 25 or 26. He's still a very young man. So it is not normal for a young man. At 32, you can adjust or go better because you have that kind of a maturity. Just because it's a cricket star, it doesn't rule out or it doesn't offset the fact that he is still a very, very young man. And he still has he still has a life out. He should have a life outside cricket, like listening to music, going to movies, going to socializing, whatever it is. He should he I mean there should be a space for his personal life also. So all taken into account, I think this couple of months of layoff will do a world of good for Abhishek.
100%. 100%. Very rightly put. Bharat, coming to you next. Bharat, if we look at Captain Shreyas Iyer as well, he has also been a bit inconsistent, and we were obviously also talking about him in the pre-match show as well. So, do you think it's a problem also because Shreyas Iyer is your captain, and in order to perform well, your captain also needs some runs behind the back, and he is looking a bit inconsistent since the Ireland series as well. So, what are your opinions on Shreyas Iyer, the batter?
Yeah, I guess I already noted in the pre-show that when he's playing outside India, when he's playing somewhere in England or Australia or maybe even Zimbabwe, because in Zimbabwe you get tracks with tennis ball bounce, he might struggle a bit because, see, with great respect to him, he has a few limitations. Having said that, I've already talked about how he has improved as well, but still he would have a few limitations when he plays in these conditions. Yes, the pressure of captaincy might be affecting him and all that, but if you look at it that way, then obviously, as I already observed, that he shouldn't have been made the captain straight away of the Indian T20I side. He should have rather been gotten. He should have got into the playing. He should have got into the squad, and then if he had proved himself as a batsman or showed his worth, then you could have got into the scheme of things as a captain of the Indian T20I side. That is how it should have been. But from here on, yes, there will be pressure on Shai Iyer. The next T20 World Cup is in the Southern Hemisphere, in Australia, where there will be extra bounce. So it is interesting to see how he goes about his business. But let us also talk about the positives. I thought someone like Mayank Yadav again looked like a great talent,
Yeah.
and Ashok Sharma was not far behind him when it comes to pace and bounce, though he was not getting the kind of moment that Mayank Yadav was getting. But I genuinely think India have a couple of really good fast bowlers here, especially someone like Mayank Yadav. If he bowls like what he did today and in the first game, movement, C movement, extra bounce, pace. My God, he looks like a really a great talent. Just that we hope that he will remain fit.
100%. Hopefully, he remains fit. Shamik, I'll coming to you next about the bowlers. How did you like the performance of the Indian bowlers today and also in this series as well? Mayank Yadav was looking good today. Yash Thakur again, he took 2 wickets. If they haven't dropped the catches, it would have been more. Ashok Sharma again, that catch which Ishan Kishan dropped. Otherwise, it would have been 2 wickets for Ashok Sharma as well. So, how do you look at Indian team's bowling?
Yeah, good as a good outing for the next generation of Indian fast bowlers. Mayank Yadav obviously was the most impressive of them all, and there's never any doubt about his skill set. It's not only about him bowling around 90 miles per hour, but he can move the ball as well. But once again, I go back to the fact that he has glass body, and you never know.
Yes.
2 days later, we'll get to hear that Ashok Sharma, Mayank Yadav, is once again heading to COE for rehab. This can
100%.
happen. So he has sort of glass body. I hope he stays fit because India have been. If he stays fit, that would augur very well. Because if you look at Gurnur Brar is not part of the T20 of this team, but in ODIs and Test cricket, Gurnur Brar is there, another bowler who can bowl at around 150 miles per hour, who can move the ball off the day. So Gurnoor Brar back if Man Yadav stays fit, and we have Jasprit Bumrah for bigger assignments. Mohammad Siraj will come back to the fold. Mohammad Siraj will come back to the fold, and once Harshit Rana is fit, Harshit Rana will be back to the fold. So it is about these two bowlers. Gurnoor Brar is one, and this Mayank Yadav. Mayank Yadav, if he stays fit, if he works on his fitness and if he builds his endurance and if he becomes more robust, that will augur very, very well for Indian cricket. And one positive aspects I have
100%.
seen regarding
Sudisha,
Ravi
yes, yes.
Vishnoi, Ravi Vishnoi, that Ravi Vishnoi, I probably
Yeah.
mentioned it yesterday also. The way he was not, he changed his run up,
Yes.
not coming closer to the stumps, and in a way that he is negating that the back foot no ball thing, and also by coming closer to the stumps, he is getting himself a greater chance to dismiss the batsman leg before. Because with Googly being his stock ball, once you are wide of the crease, with the angle it will slide down. So the more you are closer to the stumps, the more you will have the chances of getting those LBW decisions in your favor. So that's a good change. But after this, he will work. We have reported this. He will work with Sunil Joshi at COE.
100%. Very rightly put. And I was also about to ask Ravi Bishnoi only that we have seen him in the previous tours and he was a bit off color, I would say, but now he has improved a bit. So that's a very good prospect. Sudisha, coming to you, the debutants like Yash Thakur and like Ashok Sharma, players like these guys, how big opportunity was this series for these young men out there so that they can be the next fast bowling prospect for Team India in future?
Okay, so as far as India's bowling performance is concerned, Shamik sir right now mentioned that we have Bumrah and other senior players for bigger assignments. So matches or series like these work as a perfect platform for bowlers like them to have a debutants as such. And given the fact that they have been performing actually pretty well, not getting much into tactics and will not speak much about it also because we have to give them time to also to see how do they perform in the future as well. But yeah, even if you see today, I think wickets were taken also. I am forgetting the stats, but yeah. So yeah, I think this is a very very good opportunity. Is matches like these, series like these, gives a proper platform to such bowlers to have a proper training for bigger opportunities ahead. So yes, they were. It shows that they have been practicing well. They have been trying well for sure, and that in the future also, given in the future, Jasprit Bumrah or Mohammad Siraj, they are going to have, such bowlers who they can actually look as, or they can have them as the support. So for sure, this is a good thing. This is a very good kind of platform, a very good kind of opportunity that these bowlers are getting to have an experience, to know or to gain experience out of their mistakes, or to improve, to know where their point of improvements are. So yes, good opportunities, and yes, we'll have to see in the future how do these people turn out, or how do these athletes turn out, players turn out. Sorry.
Okay. Okay. So, on this note, we'll wrap up the show. It was a very good show, very good conversation all around. And the key takeaways would be the fielding, obviously. It should be talked about more. And also the youngsters, the debutants, Vaibhav Sooryavanshi. Many, many key points. We have all summed it up alongside Bharat, Shamik, and Sudisha. We tried to sum up all the things which were needed to be mentioned. So a good show, a good day, and a good series for Team India and Captain Shreyas Iyer most importantly. So on this note, we will wrap the show. For more such updates, news, and latest news, keep watching Rev Sports.